Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to TRG Central. We'll be starting up a new series. The series is called Road, the 2024 Road to the Triple Crown. And this will be episode 0. 0 will just have an over introduction to the series. And then episode 1 will actually get into running some races. So first off, the 2024 Road to the Triple Crown series will cover all the prep races that the TRG Windows PC game has, along with uh, along with also running the Triple Crown races later in the series. So what we'll have is like episode 1 will cover prep races in January, episode 2 in February, episode 3 in March, and episode 4 in April. And episode 5 will be a preliminary for the Kentucky Derby. Episode 6 is preliminary for the Preakness, and episode 7 will be the preliminary for the Belmont Stakes. Along with running the prep races for the the Triple Crown, we'll also run a few prep races for the Triple Tiara, and we'll also run the 3 Triple Tiara races. And they are the Kentucky Oats, the Black Eyed Susan, and the Acorn. Although the fillies will not be covered quite as in depth as the Colts, but we will have a few races, preliminary races on our schedule for that, and we'll track them too. Now, since this is our own running of the races, at the end of the prep races, which will be the episode number 4, when we run the April prep races, we'll have to figure out what horses will be running in our Kentucky Derby. And to do that, we have a little thing at the homepage called the Road to the Kentucky Derby Qualifier. You take a look down here. There's a special way to view this listing, and the listing contains reward Kentucky Derby victory points for finishing first through 5th. Just to go over that, the Kentucky Derby Committee awards Kentucky Derby victory points for coming in first, second, third, fourth, or fifth, and many prep races. The earlier prep races, they give out less victory points, but when you get into the March and April prep races, then there's quite a few victory points to be had. Once all those races are done, we'll be tracking them on the qualifiers list, and we'll probably take the top 18 qualifiers. The reason why we wouldn't do 20 is usually the other 2 slots are available for the European horse and an Asian Japanese horse. We won't have any of those horses and races other than any of these, so they will not be tracked. Now, for the we also offer a second schedule that will allow the user to run a preview Kentucky Derby, Preakness, and Belmont Stakes, and in those cases, we'll have cards for whichever horses are actually entered in the races. We'll set up fields for that, and you can run the Kentucky Derby before the real life one. And the PC version of the 2024 Road to the Triple Crown can be purchased at ascgames.com along with the board game version, which would be PDFs of the episode. And they'll be very close to the same numbering scheme, like issue 0 will be the Buck races, which will be running here, and then the issue 2 will be the prelim for the Kentucky Derby, 3 will be the prelim for Princess, and 3 will be the prelim for the Belmont Stakes. Again, those can be purchased at ascgames.com. Okay, so as you see, the first screen will give you the qualifiers. Once we have a few races run, we'll check this. So after after episode 1 has run the races, we'll come back here. We'll take a look at the qualifiers as of the end of January. We'll do that through February, March, and April. Let's see. Let's go to the view reports. We'll take a list of the horses that are involved. And for right now, you see there's 245 horses that we have rated for the game, and most of them will be in prep races. Some of them won't be, because what I ended up doing is, after all the real life prep races were done, I looked at the top 20 3-year-olds, and if there were any that did not get carded for the prep races, we added cards for them too. So if you happen to pick up these sets, if you'd like to enter those horses in prep races, of course you can. And you see 245, we'll quickly go through here. Of course, since this is a video, you can stop at pause it anytime you want and take a look at the horses. And one thing you can sort by trainer just by clicking and you'll see, and you click it one more time to get it outfitting, and see Buffett has 2, 4, 6 horses. Look at BH Cox, he has quite a few. Of course, we have different spellings of some of the owners and trainers' names. Bob Buffett has a few more, and so does Brad Cox. And you can kind of go down through here and see what trainers have which horses and how many horses they're actually training. Okay, one other thing, I can do the horse ratings. This gives you an idea of the ratings for each horse. There's their turf and mud ratings, and their 2 to 12 dice rolls. On this screen, you can go gender, so you can see how many fillies are carded. There's 58, so there's still quite a few fillies that you'll have available to you in their preliminary races. You sort the dirt race, you'll see highest rated filly right now is Leslie's Rose. Lowest rated is Stern. And we go back over to the male default, so you see the 187. Click on the dirt rating here, you'll see that Moose is rated the highest right now at 94. Sierra Leone at 93, and of course, remember these cards are strictly rated for the races during the 2024 season up to the last prep race of the year, which was run in, I think, somewhere around April the 13th or 14th. So these cards are rated based on their races between January 1st and mid-April. We also take a quick look at the jockeys. See, there's 187 jockeys. We can sort them with a couple fives, a few fours, three, two, quite a few ones, and then a bunch of zeros. Okay, the last thing I would like to go over here is the races. These are all the races, and they're in date order. And as I mentioned to you, the episode 1 will cover the January races, so we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll have 6 races that we'll cover in episode 1. And this screen, you can also click on the name of the race, and it brings up the field. It also tells you right here how many Kentucky Derby victory points are awarded. There's a couple races that we added to the schedule that don't earn Kentucky Derby victory points, but they will have a purse and they'll be able to win the purses. The reason for that is sometimes the earlier races there aren't quite as many as the better races in March and February, so we added a few more just to get a few more horses involved. There's the Mucho Macho, and then the Smarty Jones. You'll see a Smarty Jones, the winner will get 10 victory points, be second, third, fourth, and fifth. Take a quick look at that field. Then the Jerome Stakes. That also awards 10, 5, 3, 2, and 1 point. Sam Winston doesn't award any, but you notice here our best rated horse in the set right now is Luke, and he'll be running in this race. Maybe he can pick up a little bit of a carriage there in that horse. Then there's the Raleigh Allison, another race that doesn't give out victory points. You see the horses in that race. And then the Let's Come is the last race in January. You can also see off to the right here how many horses are entered. Okay, click on Come. And you see this is a race that awards a little more victory points. It awards 20, 10, 6, 4, and 2. You can see the entries there. Okay, along with the races, we can quickly take a look at the schedule and see those races on the schedule. As I briefly mentioned earlier, there are 2 schedules available. The Triple Crown Series schedule is a way to replay or replay the Triple Crown, and those races will be filled out as soon as the horses are selected for the post positions. Once that drawing of the post positions is done, we'll update the game, and these Triple Crown races will will all have your real life feel. But we're concentrating on running our own road to the Triple Crown and creating our own Triple Crown winners. So as I have mentioned, here's the 5 races. Well, this is week 1. This will be the first 4 races. And then we go to week 3 and it'll pick up the other 2 races. So total will be 6 races run in January. And we'll run them directly from the schedule. And then we'll, as I mentioned, go back to the main screen here and display the top 10. Okay, well, I think that's it for episode 0. Again, all we did here was just go over the set, what's in the set, how we're going to run our own road to the Triple Crown, and whatnot. So this is Gary signing off. Be sure to catch episode 1. That will be the cup races for January. So this is Gary signing off. Have a nice evening.